Yo, what up, YouTube? Here I am on my lunch break. It is August the 15th, halfway through the month. And particular thing about August, which is really special for black people in America, is the celebration or commemoration of what's known as Black August, which is related to the liberation struggle for black people in America. And it's a time where we commemorate all of those who have paid the price and sacrificed and who were devoted to the cause of liberation for our people. So as a result of it being Black August, and it's also the birthday of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the father of Pan-Africanism here in North America, founded the great movement, the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association in Harlem, New York. Legendary movement which has only been eclipsed thus far by another movement started in 1930, the Nation of Islam here in North America. But I digress. But I just wanted to give you the background. I'm not digressing. I just wanted to give you the background of what it is that I have to say. So with it being Black August, people do various things to try to honor those who came before them. And this month, I've taken it upon myself to go back to things I know that work. Things I know that work, things like doing yoga every day. Okay, I fell in love with yoga in 2013 when we were living in the Triangle portion of North Carolina. That's Durham, Raleigh, and Chapel Hill. We were living in that area. And during that time, I was an elementary school teacher. And as a result of teaching little kids, you have to kind of put manhood, how can I say this? Not put manhood on pause. You never want to do that. You want to kind of not be so domineering, but more yielding, more compassionate, have more empathy, because children need patience. A lot of patience. We all need patience, but children especially, because they don't know. And it's up to us to teach them what to do. And so it was at that time that I fell in love with the practice of yoga, because I was stressed out. Kids were crying in the classroom. There was disciplinary things that I had to deal with. And at that point, my wife said, well, why don't you come to this yoga class at the gym? Now, I had done yoga two times before. Once with the brother Yasir Al-Hotep. He does ancient Kemet being the ancient word for Egypt. He does Kemetic or ancient Egyptian yoga, in which people assume the poses that you see on the hieroglyphs, on the temples of ancient Kemet. And another time with another sister I was seeing in college, we went and did Vinyasa yoga together. And I really wasn't a fan of it at the time because I didn't see its value. I was always more of a push-up, pull-up type of guy. But during this time in North Carolina, I fell in love and got reacquainted with yoga. And so now, thank God of the age that we live in, 2018, pretty much anything that you want to do, you can do at your own pace, thanks to iOS devices, namely the iPhone, iPad. Shout out Apple, shout out Steve Jobs, shout out Tim Cook. And there's this wonderful app on my iPad that I use called Yoga Studio. And I've been doing yoga on there for the past 6 months. I'm in graduate school, another stressful time in which I don't really need to be focused on push-ups and pull-ups and getting big, building strength, building momentum, but really flexibility and mobility as a graduate student, because I also work at the university within the IT department. And oh my goodness, it can be overbearing at times, because at the same time I'm facilitating education, I'm also placating ignorance, meaning people don't know what to do, so they seek me. They don't know what to do, so they seek me, but then we'll tell their students, no. Go find it out. Go do your research. Do your homework. Be a critical thinker. See, people will tell others that, but when it comes time for them to actually do that, to kind of look inside themselves and say, well, I tell other people that, how can I do that? They don't show up. So as a result, I'm in another challenging environment. I'm back into yoga because it helps achieve flexibility and mobility, which is needed when you're trying to do something and the odds are stacked against you. You have to be able to adapt. And yoga has allowed me to do that. So this whole month of August, Black August, I've been doing yoga pretty much every day with the exception of last weekend. I didn't do any yoga Friday or Saturday because I was at Tai Chi on Saturday. And Friday, I just wasn't feeling right. My shoulder was bothering me. But it's no excuse. I should have did some restorative yoga. And I made up for it by doing 3 yoga classes in one day on the app, Yoga Studio, off of my iPad. And in my home, I have a wooden floor, and I do it in what's kind of like an ashram/office. And as a result of doing all this yoga, don't fall asleep. Don't turn the video off just yet. As a result of doing all this yoga, I realized in a similar way that when I'm challenged with all these circumstances, I had to adapt and overcome them. Now, in doing all this yoga, I realized, well, I feel like I'm kind of peaking out or plateauing. I'm not really getting much benefit like I used to. Essential oils don't really affect me as they once did. Various supplements I take weren't really affecting me. And I say, you know what? I know what it is. It's burning up in here. I don't want to have the air conditioner on too loud because I want you to hear what I have to say. Where was I? Yoga. Lost my train of thought. Right. I was talking about doing yoga and kind of reaching a plateau and the goals I was achieving. Because it's different from weightlifting. Weightlifting, right? You do the exercises and bow, 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 you get big. But with yoga, it's more of a subtle inner growth that you undertake as well. Or that you undergo as well, not so much on the outside. And I realized I wasn't really getting that spirituality. Essential oils weren't really working for me like they used to. And as a result, I said, you know what it is? Now, I know this is going to seem like it's at variance with other things I've posted on this channel. But at the same time, hear me well. I realized that in order to reach higher heights in yoga, I had to begin monitoring my diet in ways I wasn't before. Now, I try to eat healthy for the most part. You know, I've spoken about grass-fed beef, cooking with tallow, things like lamb, bone broth, which I'm still a fan of and a proponent of. It's just not really resourceful for trying to achieve a yoga discipline or trying to regiment a yoga discipline. So I've been on a vegetarian kick. And when I say vegetarian, don't confuse that with veganism. I'm not a fan of veganism. If you want to do it, go ahead. Veganism is a religion. Veganism isn't really associated with health. People think just because you're eating plant this, not animal that, it's healthy. There's no evidence really to back that up. So I'm on this vegetarian kick, which is coming from the Ayurvedic tradition. Ayurveda being a system of medicine practiced in ancient India, in which it speaks of 3 types of food classifications that we all know, but we don't call them this. Those being Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. The reason why I switched to a vegetarian diet was to focus on this category of foods called Sattva. Sattva is the diet that pretty much a saint would follow in India as a result of trying to achieve a spiritual goal. Rajas is pretty much the food that we would see when we go outside to restaurants. And we go to restaurants with our families and whatnot. This is the food that you're going to see there. This is pretty much the food of the warrior class, okay? So I said the Sattva is the food of the saintly class, the Brahman. And then you have the Rajas, which is the class of warriors and kings. You know, it brings people to emotions. Whereas somebody who is more rooted, they don't really react. They more so respond. And they're thinking 20 moves ahead while the person antagonizing them is caught up in their emotions. And then the worst of the worst, which we see all throughout the hoods in America, the trailer parks in America, the Indian reservations in America, just anywhere where you find people that are poor and struggling. The Tamas food, which is, you know, that industrially produced food coming out of a vending machine, food at a fast food restaurant, things that don't have really any nutritional value, which are spoiled, but added formaldehydes, added preservatives are put into the food to give it a shelf life so that it's pleasing to the eye, but displeasing to the body. So I say all that to say I'm focused more so on a sattvic diet now. And as a result, I've been back to my lacto-ovo vegetarian. Although I know they say in Sattva you're not supposed to be eating eggs. But I kind of feel like I should be eating some eggs. If that changes, I will switch up. But I don't see where eggs are going to be an issue at this point in time. And as a result of doing that, I find that, man, oh man, the gains that I'm able to achieve in yoga, as far as the ability to relax, the flexibility, even outside of yoga when I'm not practicing yoga, but just out and about at my job, I'm more sentient. I'm able to feel things more so. I smell different. I noticed that the other day I forgot to put on deodorant. And, around 2 o'clock, my right guard had turned left. And as a result of that, there was a little bit of an odor, but not like it was when I was eating meat. And I'm waking up earlier. I mean, I wake up early as it is, but, it's a... Michael Jackson Thriller type vibe. But no, I've been able to wake up early the first time my alarm clock goes off and handle the day. And I've heard it said before that the food that you eat the night before should allow you to have energy, and it should allow you to function at a really high place the next day. If not, that food is actually bad for you. And that's what I was experiencing before, eating, meat-heavy meals. As a result, not being able to wake up and feel good in the morning. Like, I know people on this keto kick right now, and I mean, hey, it works for people. And I've tried it myself, but to eat all that meat, pause, number one. Eating all that meat, pause. I can't see that being sustainable, just the amount of meat that's consumed. Because when I eat meat, it's more so organ meats that I eat. Expensive cuts of lamb, and that's not sustainable on my budget. See, the way my bank account is set up, I can't be doing that every day. But, I can eat beans. I can eat salads. I can eat eggs. I can eat consume milk. Pure milk. Milk in its pure raw state. Daily. For an affordable price. And as a result, I'm feeling great, looking great, and doing more yoga here in this Black August. So here we are, 15 days in. I've been doing yoga pretty much every day this month. Yoga and Tai Chi every day this month. Getting it in. I'll keep you posted. Thank you for all those who support and subscribe to the channel. I know people have been complaining I'm not posting enough, but best believe I will start posting more. I need your feedback. We're on this journey together. And feel free to ask me some questions if you do. Because one day I'm going to do a video on all the books that I read. Dude, I read a lot of books. A lot of books. That's why I'm in graduate school right now for an English degree. Because I love reading. I love the written word. I love the spoken word. I love the performed word. I love the word. I'm really careful about what I say, too, for that reason. So, it's about 13 minutes long. 13 being the number of change. I'm going to end this video like this. Peace.